Broadcasting from the Penguin Air Plumbing and Electrical Studios, we're your hosts, Will Hallett and Wade Rusk, and this is the Penguin Pro Show. The Penguin Pro Show is an informative podcast talking about air conditioning, heating, plumbing, and electrical systems in the home. Each week, we bring on a panel of professionals to educate listeners on different topics related to these systems. Today, on episode 17, we have Penguin Pro Michael Rios from our HVAC team here at Penguin Air Plumbing and Electrical. We are excited to interview him and learn more about his story and how he got back into the industry. And we also have Jay KLINE with us today as well.
We always have Jay KLINE.
We always have.
Have we never not had Jay KLINE?
I think he's just part of the show
there's
now.
Maybe been once that I haven't been on.
So in the intro, should I say Wade Rusk and Jay KLINE?
It's okay. You guys can keep it your show.
Well, the band's back together, guys.
Yeah, it's been a few episodes I missed.
Yeah, it's good to have you back.
It hasn't been the same.
It hasn't.
No?
No, not
Not as fun?
Not without Dr. Rusk.
Yeah. Nice. That's
Right.
what I like to hear.
Dr. Rusk brings so much.
But the doctor's not in the house. It's just not the same show.
I'll be back then. I'll be back.
I tried to fill your seat, but I don't think I did very well.
I saw Jimmy sit in my seat once.
Jimmy sat in it. I tried to sit in it.
This can't be filled.
It's tough.
Dr. Rusk's seat is
Big shoes to fill.
one of a kind. Talk about putting
Feels
the band
good.
back together. You know, I was just thinking, if your intro, if you were to walk into something like this and it's your intro, what song would it be?
Oh, the walk-in music?
Your walk-in music. I just thought of this, by the way.
Wow, that's a
'cause of
tough one.
Putting the band back together.
I think Thunderstruck.
I was going to say Thunderstruck, too.
Thunderstruck. That's a good one, man. Yeah.
You read my
You
mind.
could do that Van Halen song right now that's all inspirational. Like,
That's a good one.
right now, don't wait for tomorrow or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, that would be a good one too.
Or that
Yeah.
Eminem one. You got one opportunity. One life. Something like that.
All that. I know what
You know
you're
what I'm
talking
talking
about. Yeah.
Clearly, we
There's
know
got to be a
it's
Guns N'
real
Roses or
talk.
Metallica song, too. That would be good.
There's got to be a lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah. Michael probably doesn't know what Guns N' Roses and Metallica is. How old are you?
24.
You never heard of them. It's like never.
I got 20 years on this guy.
Yeah.
And we're done.
You at least know some. You at least know some AC/DC Thunderstruck.
AC, I heard of them. I don't know the song, though.
Oh, I love having these young kids on.
So what would be your intro song?
Yeah.
If we're going with, like, rock, probably Ozzy Osbourne.
There you
some Ozzy,
go.
you know.
There's some good Ozzy.
What about
I'm surprised
listen
you
to
know
rap?
what Ozzy is and not
Yeah, I
Van
listen to
Halen.
rap, hip-hop.
hip hop? What would it be then? And we probably wouldn't know it, but tell
No,
us anyway.
honestly, I'm a fan of Eminem, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of his old music, but
Yeah.
I think I would probably put something with Drake, you know.
Oh,
Sure.
Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drake's good.
Nice.
That'd be more current.
I know that's stuff we don't
More
know about. I
relevant.
don't. Don't ask me a song that I've heard him on the radio a few times. Hip hop, Drake. Everyone's like, "Wow, he doesn't know much." But give me a Guns N' Roses
I'd
song.
probably have an Ice Cube one or something.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Old school. I like it.
Ice Cube would be good. All right. Well,
Anyway, so let's introduce Michael to the show today. Thanks for coming on, man. We're excited to have you. You've been here how long now? 6 months or so?
Probably about 3 months now.
3 months?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember I met you for the first time in the accounting office, and your brother was with you, I believe. And
Yeah.
I feel like that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But welcome to the team. Hopefully you're getting the swing of things and having a lot of fun and seeing some
Yeah.
success. And
Oh, a lot.
it takes a lot of time at a new place, but you've been doing this a while. So tell us a little bit about how you got in the industry or what you like to do for fun, you know?
Oh, well, I got in here because I used to work at a Banner Hospital, and I used to just do inventory over there, and, you know, I thought the pay was super good. And then my best friend, his dad was a manager at another AC company, and he's like, hey, I can get you in. You're just going to do duct cleans. It's super easy. You're in and out. And then I do duct cleans, and I didn't realize, you know, the machine was so heavy, taken out of the van, and on a 115 degrees day, it wasn't the best, but I think it was more on going to duct cleans and, you know, the before and after, like, wow, these things actually get super clean. And then just taking off the vents, you run into a lot of crazy things. Like you can see the customers' registers aren't sealed. And then so I would always talk to customers about sealing these registers. And I think that's where I learned, you know, this is for me because it was always me and customer were always agreeing on what they needed. You know,
You're solving a problem
yeah.
that they didn't know they had, but it can, you know, clean the air considerably when you solve that gap around that can
Yeah.
and stuff, right?
Register seals. I mean, that was big for me, and I knew it wasn't right. I didn't even know what a register seal was. But then there's one day I saw, like, I could literally look in the attic, and I saw the register. I was like, yeah, this thing should probably be sealed. And going on there, that's when I was helping a lot of customers out, and then I wanted to learn more about it. So that's when I moved into a helper, and my best friend was a lead installer, so I actually ended up being his helper. But I don't think we didn't get along as helper and lead. Because
It happens.
yeah, especially learning in the middle of summer, like trying to learn, I didn't even know what a drill was at the time before I even did a duct clean. I remember my first day when we were doing a duct clean, he's like, go get the drill. And I was like, which tool is that? And he just looked at me. He's like, oh my God. Like I think he knew right there it's going to be a process,
He had his work cut out for him.
Yeah. But I mean, I started when I was like 18, and at that age, I mean, it was even when I was training my little brother, you're kind of unteachable right there, especially in the middle of summer. It's unteachable. That's what he kept telling me. He's like, you're so unteachable. But then it got to the point where I started getting used to it, and then I started, I was like, okay, this isn't as bad. It definitely takes a couple months, but it was learning really the vocabulary of what AC parts were, because but once I picked up on it, I mean, I think that's when I knew it was kind of meant for me, because that's when I started, going fast, working, and the quality and making sure the speed was there at the same time. And then after that, I was a lead for like 3 years. And then I actually tried getting my older brother hired at that company, but they were just not hiring, I guess. And then my older brother worked at a different competitor. It was a much bigger competitor. And he was like, hey, I think you'll like it over here, the installs, and, everything was there. And so I got my little brother, and we just packed our bags and went to the bigger competitor. And we were there for a while. But then installs, I mean, I felt like I kind of learned everything I could. I was captain learning, and I just felt like it was time to go to service. It was that time to move. And once I went to service over there, that's when I was like, wow, it's not really hard at all. The hardest part is driving, The hardest part is driving from Santan Valley to Surprise.
Especially in the middle of the summer, it takes a while for that air conditioning
Yeah.
to kick in, and
Yeah.
it's a tough job. I've used to do service and install and all the above. But yeah, you got to learn on the job. You don't necessarily learn how to, I think that's what makes the great ones, is having learned on the job from the very beginning, be it duct cleaning or install and getting into service, because you kind of know everything. I mean, not everything. None of us know everything, but you know more than just somebody coming right out of school getting into service or something. For sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have probably trained at least 20 people coming out of school. And I mean, it's crazy how much they know. I mean, they know the vocabulary, but the same thing, they don't know what it is. Like, they know that they know what a TXV is, but they don't know where it's at. Mm-hmm. So it's just teaching them
what it actually does.
Yeah, exactly. So that just, I don't know, I think that made me more happy learning hands-on than, actually going to the school and going through that process. But yeah, I mean, I like the way I was trained. I think being trained hands-on is the best way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, if you can get some hands-on training and start, I did the same way, when I started, all hands-on. I didn't go to school, didn't do anything, just kind of jumped in and started learning. And you learn a ton more. And like Wade said, I mean, it's to start in the install side and even in the duct cleaning side, you learn so much more that benefits you when you get into service. You can talk to a customer about their airflow and their duct work because you've been there, you've installed it, so you know that side of it as well. So it's definitely a benefit to start there if people can.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, you're 18 years old. You got into a trade that you didn't know much about. You didn't know what a drill was. You become this duct cleaner, and then wanting to take that road, that process. Sometimes it can look like a long road, to become from duct cleaner to service tech, but it really isn't if you really put your heart and soul into it and want to take on the training. Because a duct cleaner that can really communicate with customers, right? Which you have that skill in explaining things, and then you wanted to move up. You had the desire to do that. So, talk about more about how that others can do that along the way if they're looking into getting into this industry.
I think it was good starting as a duct cleaner because I didn't know exactly what a filter even did. Once you get in a duct cleaner, you learn how the airflow works. You learn that, okay, this filter actually sucks in air. At first I used to think that was actually what blew the air, out of the system, but it sucks in the air. And once you learn like how the airflow works, then you start kind of knowing, okay, this is duct work, this is trunk line, the difference between those houses from a flat roof to, a roof that has a lot of duct work. But the road, I think it made it easier is once I understood that, for a duct cleaner, you're kind of capped. And then you want to go up and move, and then you want to go to installs. Once you start installing
compensation-wise, right? Yeah.
Yes, and once you start installing these units as a helper, then okay, the next step is lead, being a lead. And once you realize you're training people, you're never gonna know everything, but it's time for the next move. If you're training people, now you can go be trained to be something else as a service tech or a maintenance tech. And once I went to the service, that's what I think was really surprising, because I feel like in service you don't have a cap. There's no cap. An install lead, you have a cap. You can work every day, and there's a cap still yearly. But when I went to service, it was like so far I have not noticed any cap in salary. I know the sky's the limit when it comes to that. The better I do as a technician, the more I'll make.
Yeah. So the more you learn. And more calls you run, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So how much effort you want to put into it. I know Jay and we talk about this all the time is, some guys are happy with making, under six figures, but you can make more than six figures in this industry and beyond, right? Not beyond, not seven figures,
and I
but
know,
you can make a lot of money over $100,000.
A big kudos to you and your brother, because you guys both work, more than the 5 days a week. For one, so the listeners know, Michael works, regular weekends. So that's his regular shift, is helping people out on weekends. When a lot of these companies don't have technicians available, or very few because they're only emergency, well, that's his standard shift, is helping out on the weekends. And then, Monday's supposed to be a day off for him. And they actually take and end up doing a lot of work on Mondays, because through the weekend, some parts aren't available. So they have to come back on Mondays, and they still schedule themselves on their day off to come back on Monday to help get that customer cooling, when they can get the parts available. So, that's a big, big testament right there, is you can make as much as you want in this industry, kind of like you said, right? If you put in the work, if you learn, if you continue your education, and you continue your working to help the customers out there, it makes a big difference. And of course, speaking of pay, I got to go back, because you said you're working at Banner, right? Doing some stocking, inventory.
Yeah.
And you did say, right, that it was good pay?
I thought it was good pay, because I actually used to work at Walmart, McDonald's. It was minimum wage at this time was like $7.95. Yeah. And then I heard Banner inventory $11. I was oh my God, I got a raise right there. Yeah. But yeah, once I thought I was making good, my friend in the AC business, he was like, that's nothing. Yeah.
It's good for people that are considering getting in this business to know, if you're good with people and you can provide, good customer service and, articulate well like you do, Michael, and you can be very successful. You can learn the other stuff. And the rate at which you excel is on you, right? We have a lot of guys who stay in install. They don't want to have to interact with homeowners and stuff. They want to just get into their project, their install, their job, and be meticulous with that. And that's fine. You got to have those guys too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really good at what they do, and that's and like say you bring up like you don't have to have the technical side of it.
We teach the skill.
We'll teach that. Like we're more than happy to help further the knowledge of a technician if they want to start out, but they don't have that side, but, they have that right attitude where they want to grow and continue to move up and continue to improve themselves. We'll help you. We'll teach you.
And that's what I learned, too. At my previous company, I wasn't taught, how to do repairs. Coming from installer to service, I install units. Yeah. I'm not going to, when it comes to, like, fan motors, I was like, how, am I going to do this? I can replace a condenser, but on fan motors, that's where I had a lot of good training at, the trainers that trained me. You do it once and you're good forever, basically. And that's what I was taught here when I was training one of the technicians. We changed the fan motor, and I mean, that's when I learned. And that's where your salary can be higher. You do your own repairs. Because at first, when I first started here, I was like scheduling my repairs to go to for a warranty to do them. And, I was told, like, hey, you can make more money if you do it yourself.
Yeah.
Not to mention in the summer, warranty doesn't really have the luxury of
Yeah.
taking on more work.
And it's the time, too. That's why even on Saturday, I scheduled a fan motor, and I was like, I can do it Tuesday. And then I noticed the customer was not in cooling. So, I mean, it just feels right. Okay, Monday, I know it's my day off. I'll be here Monday. We can do this. And, it was done, house was cooling. If you feel better, it's kind of like a triple win. I win because I make more, the customer gets cooling, and the company doesn't have to send another technician out.
Mm-hmm.
Win-win-win. That's awesome. Yep. I love that. So what is it that you want to, going forward, like you talk about the sky's the limit, what do you see yourself in the next few years here at Penguin?
Well, I know we talked about, I don't really try to compete with, top technicians here. But that's the goal. The goal is to be number one technician here, to not just, in selling, but in knowledge. I want to be able to sometimes not have to call certain people because I want to be able to know that and have people call me. That way, just learn knowledge and try to be top technician here. It's like, I don't think I would feel right not being top technician here in the next 5 years.
I think it's going to be sooner than that.
Yeah.
We have some good technicians, so they better be watching out, Jay.
I know.
I like this guy.
I'll tell you, it's all in you, right? Mm-hmm. And when I learned this in the military in refrigeration, and when I got out and I got my first job at $14 an hour or something. But this is when one of our vendors, web distributors, was handing out little, this is before your time, little pocket notepads with like temperature.
They had the superheat calculator on the back.
Yeah. Jay knows.
Yep.
And you'd write down all your stuff when you're troubleshooting or pressures and all that on there. But man, I was so excited to learn and be the best and grow in this business. And I would study at night, and I would just work on units I could work on, at my dad's house or whatever. And just a lot of people don't have that nowadays.
That drive.
But if you have that, you will be the best.
Yeah, if you have that drive, there's, like you said, the sky is the limit in this industry. That's why I think it is the best industry.
Yeah, and so eventually someday you can get into something that's not as strenuous and hot, and you're running sales calls or you're training other people eventually. And there's so many opportunities in this industry. This industry is amazing, and it's not going to go anywhere.
No.
It's recession-proof.
I think
especially in
that's
Arizona.
The biggest thing, too, is not only is it not going to go anywhere, not is it like recession-proof, but really every year, not just us, but everybody in the valley is struggling to find great techs like yourself, right? I mean, it is becoming harder and harder. People are looking more into that kind of glamorous, I want to get into computers and video games and, heck, just be a social media influencer and get paid, right? Like they always want this thing, and it's amazing how, people don't realize how successful you can be, as just an HVAC tech or, HVAC installer even, and they can make a ton of money just, if they go ahead and do that, do a trade school or like I say, get on, learn hands-on. There's a ton of money to be made out there, and companies right now are always hiring. Penguin's always hiring, always looking.
Sure.
Yes, we are.
Something Michael probably doesn't know about Jay actually is when I first met Jay, he was actually on the verge of being a lip model.
Yes, he was.
And I had to talk him out of that and tell him there's no future in that. Get into AC repair.
He was about to be sponsored by this company right here, weren't you?
So he still uses a lot of chapstick
What's your
to
flavor,
protect
bro?
those lips.
That's why we
really
have
need
the
to know
chapstick.
what your flavor is.
There's regular.
This may sound weird, but I'm actually I like the plain flavor.
Oh, the black one.
The black one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
the color of it's like flesh.
Yeah.
You can help yourself. Those are for our guests on the show. So
Well, all right.
Is
Free
it brand new?
chapstick.
I
Is
don't know
that-
if these were used or not.
I was going to say,
Jay.
has that been used?
I've tried them all out just to sample and make sure they're good.
So
Just to make sure they work right for you.
you and Jay have about, you're pretty close to Jay's lips.
I don't know. I mean,
Hey, listen, I still might decide to go for the lip model career down the road. Okay, let's not introduce other people.
So-
to this.
I just think the shape of your lips and everything about them it's amazing.
And to think you talked me out of that career.
I had to, because I knew if I could get you in homes talking to the women, there'd be a huge opportunity for me and you.
They'd be mesmerized.
Mesmerized. There you go.
Memorized.
They're like, okay, I'll buy a new ACJ. No, we have a good time with the chapstick because of Jay's lips. So,
yeah, you'll have to look back a couple episodes. There was a whole segment about the application of chapstick on the lips.
Jay does 3 laps.
There
He
you
has
go.
to do
Episode
3 laps.
13.
He has to go inside and out.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably 2 laps.
Full coverage.
You're probably 2 laps. Wouldn't you say?
I didn't even know there's such thing as a model. You know, is that true?
We're playing with you.
Oh.
We're playing with you.
No, I didn't know either until Jay told me he has a process, which there's a lot of processes in this business too. But he does. He goes 3 laps every time, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Full coverage.
Me, I just like put it on.
Yeah, he's got to
just hit
go.
myself in
He's
the
got to
nose.
go clockwise,
Just put it on.
not counterclockwise.
It's a fascinating thing to see. Go ahead and show
Jay?
him how you put chapstick on.
Jay, demonstrate. Michael needs it. This is part of training, Michael.
Yeah.
Here.
And see, look, I'm with you. I go with the plain too. I just
That's
like
not the
SPF.
plain. That's the blue.
But it's plain with SPF.
It tastes
the
nothing
only
like the
difference.
plain.
But it protects from the sun.
The color's different.
See, okay, outside, inside,
And far inside.
And then rub.
It's
a little rub.
Oh, and then yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
it's
smack.
almost like X-rated when watching him put chapstick on. He's like,
Almost.
I'll give you some off-air training. Michael.
We sell those video clips on a different site. So.
That's funny.
Do you
well,
have any questions for us, Michael?
I always wondered, how did you guys come up with the name, Penguin?
That's a great question. I
That's
don't
a
know if
great
we've
question.
ever talked about that on the show, have we, Wade?
we haven't talked about that specifically. That's a great
Why don't
question,
you-
and I'd love to have that
Yeah, take
answer
over.
that one, and you can jump in.
Yeah.
So, I remember being in my backyard pacing around because our previous boss just heard that Will and I were going to start our own business, and I basically didn't have a job anymore. And so I'm like, damn, we better make some moves. So I wanted a character because the place we worked at before had a cool character on the side of the vans and stuff you could brand and advertise and have fun with. It kind of memorable as well, versus just like Will and Wade's AC. So for some reason, and you also, when you come up with a name, you have to consider if there's any similar names in the same state because of the license, the registrar of contractors that manages the licensing and the names and all that. They'll tell you, oh, you can't have a name that's similar to another like business. If it's totally different business, it doesn't matter. I wanted to have a big rhinoceros on the side of a truck for some reason, like a standing character rhino with a service uniform on. He was kind of in good shape with a wrench or something. I just like the orangutan thing or whatever, but a rhinoceros. For some reason, I thought that was cool, and it was going to be called Rhino Air. Well, there was a Rhino Mechanical, so we couldn't have it, and that crushed my dreams almost. And then I think Will was like, what about a penguin? And I was like, dude, there's no way someone doesn't already have Penguin Air. There's no way. And that's why I didn't even bother considering it in the beginning. Well, there was a Penguin Air, but it had just gone out of business 3 years before. So we jumped on it, got the name, and then my brother-in-law at the time drafted up a cool penguin, which actually is not cool now. It was kind of cool back then.
The one that's on the wall when you walk in. That's the old logo.
Oh, that wooden?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like in the beginning. But yeah, it worked out really well. Penguins like cold air, and you can have fun with them. And who doesn't like a penguin? I mean, they can be kind of mean, actually. Jay knows. He held a live penguin in our first commercial.
Bit me on the arm.
And it
Does
bit...
that hurt?
And the helicopter pilot, when we sponsored the helicopters, it bit him on the ear because he put it in the passenger seat of the helicopter.
And he was leaning over to like do a selfie with a penguin.
Nipped him.
They have serrated beaks for fish, and they're not that friendly.
Yeah.
Although the ones at Odyssey, we went and hung out with them, and they're super friendly. So
Yeah.
it's just how they're trained or whatever. But
So we're the friendly penguins.
yeah, we're the friendly penguins. But then the colors too, like that was, we didn't want to do your traditional blue in red. So we went with, I thought of FedEx, the
purple. You like the purple. I like the lime green.
but
so
I
we
like
put 'em
I
together.
like the franchise FedEx that was green and purple, not the orange and
the
purple
ground.
one.
FedEx ground.
Ground.
Yeah.
I like those colors. I thought of a lot when we came up with these colors because they're different. They're fun. They're more hip and current kind of.
Pop a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we rebranded in 2018.
And
this
that's when
logo.
our logo totally kind of got more
Sporty.
current and hip, and we came up with a flying penguin that's on the ball caps, and we have a few different variations of it depending on what fits where, be it on the truck, on a brochure, on a hat, uniforms. And we had a company that's really good at design do all that for us, and that was called a brand refresh.
So when it came to the trucks, because it was funny, I was talking to my brother. I was like, I wonder how the van would look if it was purple. Have you guys ever thought about that?
The whole van.
Yeah.
Wrap on purple. It would stand out.
Well, there's a company out there, and I won't say their name specifically, but they do flower delivery and stuff, and their trucks are purple. But I think it'd be cool. I mean, white never pops, right? So if the whole truck was purple with some ground, it'd be really cool.
maybe the top sales guys can have purple.
Well, we had black ones.
Yeah,
black
maybe,
ones
maybe we
look-
do
We're gonna do
purple
that.
now.
Black
We had a-
carbon in the back. Yeah.
We had a black design, and I told Jay, I was like, let's do the top,
For the year.
techs for the year. Give them the black vehicle. We just haven't ever gotten around to it. But that's a full wrap, whereas what we have now is a half wrap, and there's costs associated stuff. But the black ones look really cool too.
Congratulations, you're our top technician. You get the hottest van in the fleet.
Yeah, in the summer.
Well,
That's
I hope
right.
it's a top 3. 2022 would be good.
There you go.
Yeah, no, we still might do that. We're doing a lot of cool things we have in the works for
Top sales
top
guy.
producers and
Just
stuff.
wait.
And we're gonna have a lot of fun.
It'll be
with
fun.
it, so.
We ordered some stuff last week for it.
Nice.
It's gonna be fun in the trainings now. Any other questions for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think got all the answers. I was
Yeah.
really just a penguin, I was big.
Well, it's been great having you, and you did really well. Did really good.
Yeah,
And,
I like your
I can see why you're good with the customers.
Yeah,
you're
appreciate you
awesome.
having us as part of the team, man. It's been nice having you on, and I do have one quick question for you. Hopefully you believe this. I mean, I know it's only been about 3 months, but why should others choose Penguin?
I would say it's exactly what Will's been saying since I've been here, and I didn't even know I saw it up the door. It says "Win with Penguin." I think that has been nothing but winning. Me and my brothers, we feel like we've been winning with Penguin, and it's not just like we're winning, but the customers are too, because I think the price and the quality they're getting. I truly believe in that, and I think that's what makes me a better salesman is because I believe in that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Give me the
That
chance.
I'm crying. I'm not crying, but I feel like I want to cry because that's what makes Will and I and Penguin, the company as a whole, win. Is when the customers and we have the external customers and internal customers, which is our team members like yourself. If everybody's winning, then it's not a job. It's like it's fun.
Yeah. And yeah, I think the same thing. Like, this is Wade and I's baby, and it's so hard in the beginning for Wade and I to really give up a lot of control on some things. Jay's really helped us out with that. I mean, you can't say enough about this guy, right, Jay? Because you got to like your boss too, right?
Yeah.
When you come to work every day. So, yeah, it just makes us feel good because we want everyone to win. And when you guys are winning, best thing, I got another phone call from Nate White the other day. And Nate's like, I just upgraded on my house. I called you 2 years ago. I got my first house. He just got his second house. These are things that Wade and I want to see all of our employees winning.
And Nathan worked here before
He
and
was awesome.
left to try to do or work for his brother-in-law.
Well, no, he went to another company where he got actually a little bit of a management role that he was at. Yeah,
But he came back.
But
Why?
didn't he work for his brother-in-law?
he did for like a short period on the side while he was making the transition to the other company.
But he came back, and we love seeing that. People want to see what's out there,
Yeah. But yeah, we appreciate coming on and sharing your story.
Yeah.
You are from here as well, like all
We're all
three of
natives.
us. We're all
Arizona
natives.
natives.
Born and raised in Chandler.
Awesome.
I was born and raised in Phoenix, essentially.
So yeah, for all those listeners out there, this is probably Jonathan. We probably want to get this on Facebook a little bit stronger on the recruiting side. Okay, we want the Michaels of the world, okay, to come here at Penguin and win with us.
Yeah.
And
so-
again, I think one of the most important things to touch on is you didn't have to go to school
Mm-hmm.
and spend the money. As long as you're a good person and you want to learn, you want to work hard, we will start you at the ground level and you will learn a lot, and the industry will treat you as well as, you know,
You treat it.
what you put into it, you'll get out of it for sure. So
Exactly right. And that's done it for all four of us, right?
Yep.
Every single one of us has gone that path. So great interview. Thanks for coming on. Why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners what they should do? See that in green?
Up there in green.
Up there in green. Yeah, well, if you guys like the show, just, like, comment, and subscribe. And
There you go.
Win with Penguin.
I love it.
All right.
That's awesome.
I'm glad he didn't say smile and dial.
I know.
Let me say that one. Smile and dial.
Yeah.
Lou is like the reporters, like an
Whatever
anchor
you
man.
put on
or
the teleprompter, they're
the
going to
tel-
say. Yeah.
They just read it, and I thought you might actually say that on accident. But
That's why I said in green.
Jonathan put that up there just because.
That's a thing we do in the call center. But
I would
we
make sure
do-
you're smiling on this.
We do want our customers to smile and dial us.
There you go. Smile and dial.
I think it's for us though, so we're smiling when we're on the microphones.
I got to say, I think Michael there just put in a new way that we have to close out every
Win
episode.
with
And win with
Penguin.
Penguin.
Win
I
with
thought you
Penguin.
guys always did that.
We learn.
I mean, that's a great one. Just
It's
win
at the
with
end of the
Penguin.
voicemails
Thanks,
on
guys.
all the
Win with
Love it.
Penguin.
phones.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael.
Perfect.
All right, cheers,
All right.
Michael.
Yep.
All right.
Everyone
Great having you.
have a great week, everybody.